Today we're exploring an eerie alternate reality. What if the Salem witch trials had resulted in the establishment of a theocratic state? But first, let's get some background. The Salem witch trials occurred between February 1692 and May 1693 in colonial Massachusetts. These hearings and prosecutions accused over 200 people of witchcraft, leading to 30 guilty verdicts and 19 executions. These trials have become infamous symbols of mass hysteria and injustice.
Now picture a different outcome where the witch trials didn't end in reform, but instead strengthened the power of the Puritan clergy, establishing a theocratic state. Let's examine the potential consequences, starting with immediate political and social changes. In this alternate reality, the success of the witch trials would have emboldened the Puritan religious leaders, solidifying their control. They would have used the fear of witchcraft to justify stricter governance over the community. Salem's government, and possibly the entire Massachusetts Bay Colony, would transition from a semi-autonomous structure to a rigid theocracy.
Imagine living in a society where religious leaders dictate every aspect of life, from laws and education to daily behavior and personal beliefs. How would you feel about that? There would be no separation of church and state, with religious doctrine forming the basis of all legal and social norms. This theocratic state would enforce strict moral and behavioral codes, reflecting Puritan beliefs. Activities considered sinful or suspicious, like dancing, music, or certain types of clothing, could be banned. Punishments for transgressions would be harsh, aimed at preserving religious purity and obedience. Just think about your favorite pastime. Could you even imagine it being forbidden?
The judicial system would be dominated by religious courts. Accusations of witchcraft or heresy would persist, with trials based on religious testimonies and confessions obtained through coercion. The fear of being accused would keep the population in check, but it would also create an atmosphere of paranoia and mistrust.
Now let's consider the broader societal impact. Education would be strictly controlled, with a heavy focus on religious teachings. Secular subjects might be suppressed or altered to fit religious narratives. This could stifle scientific and intellectual progress, as any ideas conflicting with religious beliefs would be censored or punished. Imagine if the subjects you're passionate about were forbidden. How drastically would your life change?
Children would grow up in an environment where questioning religious authority is dangerous. The emphasis would be on indoctrinating them with Puritan values, ensuring the perpetuation of the theocratic state.
Economically, the strict moral codes could impact trade and innovation. Business practices deemed unethical or greedy by religious leaders might be prohibited. While this could prevent exploitation, it might also hinder economic growth and development. Traders and merchants could find themselves restricted by religious laws, affecting their ability to compete in broader markets.
However, we shouldn't overlook the potential for internal resistance. In our alternate reality, not everyone would willingly accept the theocratic rule. Dissent would simmer beneath the surface, and underground movements might form to challenge the religious authorities.
These resistance groups would operate in secrecy, spreading ideas of freedom and secular governance. Tensions between theocratic rulers and secular rebels could even lead to conflicts, possibly sparking a civil war within the colony. Consider the bravery required to stand up against such a regime. Would you join the resistance?
On the cultural front, we'd see a real decline if a theocratic rule were to take hold. They'd ban any creative expressions that didn't align with Puritan values, resulting in a lack of innovation in music, theater, and literature. Intellectual and cultural life would be stifled, with everything revolving around religious themes and moral lessons.
But let's think about the long-term effects. If the theocratic state managed to maintain control, its influence might spread beyond Massachusetts. Other colonies might take notice of Salem's strict religious governance and adopt similar systems. This could lead to the spread of theocratic states throughout the early American colonies. The American Revolution, if it still happened, would have a whole different feel. Instead of fighting against British rule for independence, colonists might also be fighting to overthrow theocratic regimes. The struggle for secular governance would become a major issue, reshaping the very foundations of the new nation.
In this alternate reality, the separation of church and state, which is a cornerstone of the U.S. Constitution, might be a harder victory to achieve. The Founding Fathers would have to not only combat British influence, but also challenge the deeply rooted theocratic powers within the colonies.
Now, let's consider the global impact. If America started as a collection of theocratic states, its influence on global democracy and secularism would be significantly different. The spread of democratic ideals might be slower, and the role of religion in government could become a contentious issue worldwide. Furthermore, the arts, sciences, and cultural exchanges might progress at a different pace worldwide. The restrictive environment of a theocratic state could hamper cultural and scientific advancements, not just in America, but also in other regions influenced by it. Global interactions could be marked by ideological conflicts between secular and theocratic states, leading to a whole new world order.
So, what if the Salem witch trials had resulted in the establishment of a theocratic state? The trials would have solidified religious control, resulting in strict moral codes, suppressed intellectual growth, and potential internal conflicts. This scenario emphasizes the importance of secular governance and highlights the dangers of merging religious authority with state power.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through an alternate history. If you enjoyed this what-if scenario, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more captivating explorations. Until next time, keep questioning the past to understand our present and future.